Macmillan Audio presents The Sing Sing Files. One journalist, 6 innocent men, and a 20-year fight for justice. By me, Dan Slepian. And I'm pleased to read it for you. Introduction. JJ. It was Thanksgiving Day, 2002. I was at the Greenhaven Correctional Facility, a maximum security prison a couple of hours north of Manhattan, filming a story for NBC's Dateline about 2 incarcerated men who insisted they'd been wrongfully convicted of murder. I'd spent a lot of time around cops and courts, but wrongful convictions and false imprisonments were not things I knew much about when I walked into Greenhaven's dreary lobby that morning and saw a woman holding the hands of 2 little boys who were staring in my direction. "You're Dan, right?" said the woman, who introduced herself as Maria Velasquez. "My son, John Adrian, we call him JJ, is locked up here. He was convicted of murder, but he's innocent." She told me that JJ had heard I was coming that day, and she told him she'd do her best to speak with me. I could feel her pain and desperation. "Can you help us?" Maria asked. I looked at her and then at the 2 boys, whom she introduced to me as JJ's sons, Jacob, age 5, and John Jr., age 8. They were polite, but quiet. It seemed like it had already been a long, hard day for them, and it seemed like they'd already had too many long, hard days. John Jr. was on Maria's right side. Jacob, the littler one, was holding her left hand. He barely came up to her waist. He stared up at me with these huge, confused eyes. He didn't say a word, but I swear he was asking me, "Who are you? Why am I here? What's going on? How can I make it stop?" My first thought was that, regardless of their dad's guilt or innocence, these 2 little guys should have been at home that Thanksgiving morning, running around with their cousins, not standing in the harsh fluorescent lighting of a prison lobby. Their grandmother told me that 2 years earlier, in 2000, a jury had convicted her son, JJ Velasquez, of murdering a former New York City police officer, and that he had been sentenced to 25 years to life. She insisted her only child was an innocent man. Frankly, I doubted it. I was there investigating the claims of 2 other men who insisted they were innocent, and I still didn't know if they were telling the truth. What were the odds that another wrongfully convicted person would be in the same part of the same prison? I told Maria that I couldn't make any promises, but I would read about her son's case when I could, making sure to add that it would probably not happen anytime soon. Even so, she seemed relieved. She said that for years she'd tried and failed to get anyone to listen to her. I wasn't a father myself yet, but as I drove home that day, something haunted me about those weary kids in that prison lobby. I couldn't get Jacob's sad, serious eyes out of my mind. Soon enough, I wouldn't be able to get his dad's voice out of my head either. Looking back on meeting those boys and their grandmother that Thanksgiving morning, it would have been impossible to imagine the impact those few minutes would have on my life, both professionally and personally, and the way in which my relationship with JJ would come to touch countless other lives as well. It marked the beginning of an odyssey that's still ongoing and that continues to reshape my perception of how justice functions in this country, or doesn't, and caused me to reconsider how I function as a journalist and as a human being. This book's title refers to the prison officially known as Sing Sing Correctional Facility in Ossining, New York, the notorious maximum security prison where JJ would spend most of the 23 years, 7 months, and 8 days of his wrongful incarceration, and where over 2 decades I would visit him more than 200 times. The title also refers to how I came to investigate and produce Dateline reports not only about JJ, but also about 5 other innocent men.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?